San Diego throbbed with the pulse of the 4th of July. The air vibrated, a symphony of sizzling barbecues and joyous laughter. Children, eyes bright with wonder, chased the echoes of firecrackers. Flags rippled in the warm breeze, a sea of red, white, and blue. But high above the city, a shadow lingered. A threat, cold and calculating, cast a pall over the festive joy. Unknown to the revelers below, a storm gathered, its tendrils reaching towards the heart of their celebration. At the pinnacle of Johnson Tech's towering headquarters, Jennifer Johnson surveyed the cityscape. Her emerald eyes, usually sparkling with warmth, held a steely glint. The weight of responsibility pressed upon her shoulders, a stark contrast to the carefree atmosphere below. Tonight, the city celebrated its freedom. Tonight, Jennifer prepared to defend it. Jett Johnson, his chiseled features etched with concern, stood beside his sister. They were a study in contrasts. Jennifer, the visionary CEO, her auburn hair pulled back in a sleek ponytail, her demeanor a blend of grace and determination. Jett, the COO, his imposing physique radiating quiet strength, his navy polo shirt a stark counterpoint to her vibrant red blouse. The bond between them ran deeper than blood. It was forged in shared dreams, a commitment to innovation, and an unwavering faith that anchored them in the storm. Tonight, that faith would be their shield. Jett's voice, a low rumble, cut through the festive sounds drifting from below. He didn't need to elaborate. The threat hung heavy in the air between them. S1, ready, Jen?
As we'll ever be. We won't let him win.
Jennifer drew a deep breath, the scent of the ocean mingling with the distant aroma of fireworks. Her voice was firm, resolute. Inside Johnson Tech, the atmosphere crackled with a different kind of energy. The command center, a hive of activity, buzzed with the hum of computers and the urgent murmur of voices. Screens flickered, displaying a network of interconnected systems. The city's digital nervous system laid bare.
We're monitoring the situation. So far, everything's quiet. Too quiet.
Tom, the head of security, his burly frame a reassuring presence, met their gaze. His voice was gruff but steady. Jennifer nodded, her gaze sweeping over the team assembled before her. Each member, carefully chosen for their expertise and unwavering dedication, represented a vital piece in the defense of their city. Tonight, they were more than just a team. They were San Diego's first and last line of defense, and they would not falter. Jennifer's heels clicked against the polished floor, a sharp counterpoint to the hushed whispers and the rhythmic tapping of keyboards. The command center, usually a hub of innovation and progress, was now a war room, its atmosphere thick with tension. She met Jett's gaze across the room, a silent exchange passing between them. He stood beside Tom, their faces illuminated by the cool glow of the monitors, their body language a study in controlled alertness. A wave of warmth washed over her, a reminder that they weren't alone in this. Their faith, a constant in their lives, provided an anchor in the storm. It was a faith that had seen them through challenges before, a faith that whispered of hope even in the face of fear.
Lord, grant us wisdom and courage, she murmured, her prayer a silent plea for guidance. Protect our city, our people. Guide our hands and steady our hearts.
Tom, his gruff exterior hiding a sharp mind and a compassionate heart, barked orders into his headset. He was the epitome of security, a human firewall, his every movement radiating an aura of quiet authority.
Keep monitoring those access points. We can't afford any slip-ups.
Rachel Kim, their lead cybersecurity analyst, her fingers dancing across the keyboard with effortless grace, tracked the digital landscape with the focus of a hawk. Her sharp intellect and unwavering dedication made her a formidable opponent in the cyber realm.
I've got eyes on the network. Any unusual activity will be flagged immediately.
David Morales, his usual cheerful demeanor replaced by a mask of concentration, hunched over a bank of monitors, his mind dissecting data streams, searching for anomalies, for the telltale signs of an impending attack.
I'm seeing some irregular patterns here. We need to stay sharp.
Together, they formed a united front, a tapestry of skills and experiences woven together by a shared purpose, to protect their city from the shadows that lurked in the digital world. The hum of the computers, the soft murmur of voices, the occasional beep of an alert, These were the sounds of the digital battlefield. Every blip on the screen, every fluctuation in the data streams, held the potential for chaos. Jennifer's gaze swept across the room, taking in the scene, the focused intensity of her team, the blinking lights of the servers, the complex diagrams projected on the wall, a visual representation of the city's digital infrastructure. The air crackled with anticipation, the silence punctuated by the staccato bursts of keyboard clicks. It was the calm before the storm, a moment of deceptive tranquility that belied the impending digital onslaught. Jennifer drew a deep breath, steeling herself for the battle ahead. The fate of San Diego, the safety of its people, rested on their shoulders, and they would be ready. A sharp intake of breath, the clatter of a headset hitting the table. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by the relentless hum of the servers, a constant reminder of the digital battleground.
He's planning a full-scale cyber attack, Tom's voice. Usually a gruff rumble was barely a whisper. His face, etched with concern, reflected the gravity of the situation.
The words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken implications. A cyber attack. Not just a breach, not just a data theft, but a full-blown assault on the city's digital infrastructure. Jennifer felt a chill crawl down her spine, despite the warmth of the summer night. This wasn't just about protecting data. This was about protecting lives. Section 2. A city held hostage. Virelli's plan, laid bare on the screens before them, was a masterpiece of digital malice. It targeted not just one system, but the interconnected web that powered their city, their lives. The power grid, its intricate network of energy flow, blinked ominously on the screen. A successful attack would plunge San Diego into darkness, crippling hospitals, shutting down transportation, sowing chaos and fear. Financial institutions, the lifeblood of the city's economy, were next on Virelli's hit list. A breach could freeze transactions, halt commerce, and send shockwaves through the global market. It was a hostage situation, but instead of people, Virelli held their city captive. His weapon of choice, not guns or bombs, but lines of code, crafted with chilling precision. Section 3. Strategic Minds, United Resolve. Jennifer drew a deep breath, steadying herself. Fear was a luxury they couldn't afford. Now was the time for action, for strategic thinking, for the kind of cold, calculated response that had become her trademark.
Rachel, what's our defense posture?
Her voice, though laced with tension, was firm, unwavering.
We've reinforced our firewalls, but his malware is sophisticated. He's using a combination of zero-day exploits and social engineering tactics.
We need to anticipate his next move. David, can you analyze his attack patterns, identify his likely targets?
Section 4. A race against time. The command center transformed into a whirlwind of activity. Keyboards clattered, phones rang, voices rose and fell in urgent whispers. Every second counted. Every decision carried the weight of the city's fate. Jennifer, her mind racing, plotted and strategized. Her years of experience in the tech world put to the ultimate test. They were in a race against time, a battle waged in the digital trenches. The stakes impossibly high.
We need to isolate his point of origin. Tom, can you track his location?
We're working on it, but he's using multiple proxies, bouncing his signal all over the globe.
The air in the command center crackled with a different kind of energy now. The flurry of initial activity had given way to a focused calm, a shared understanding of the task at hand. Monitors glowed, casting an eerie light on the faces of the team, their expressions a mixture of determination and grim acceptance. Jennifer, her hand resting lightly on the back of a chair, surveyed the scene. She saw the fatigue etched on Tom's face, the lines around Rachel's eyes a testament to the countless hours spent battling digital threats, the quiet intensity radiating from David as he hunched over his console. They were weary, but not defeated. Fearful, perhaps, but not broken. For they had something that Virelli, in his cold, calculating world, could never comprehend. Faith. A faith that transcended the digital realm. A faith that anchored them in the storm. It was in the silence that followed, a silence pregnant with unspoken anxieties and shared hopes, that Jennifer felt it most strongly, the unshakable belief that they were not alone in this fight. Jennifer joined him. The panoramic view of San Diego spread out before them like a glittering tapestry. The fireworks continued, oblivious to the digital battle about to be waged beneath their dazzling display. S1. Jen, a word? Jett's voice, low and steady, broke the silence. He stood by the window, his tall frame silhouetted against the backdrop of the city lights, his face a study in contemplation.
We've faced challenges before, Jett said, his gaze fixed on the city below, but this feels different.
Jennifer nodded, understanding in her eyes. Jennifer, I know, she whispered, her voice barely audible above the distant boom of fireworks. But we can't give in to fear. We have to trust. Her voice trailed off, the unspoken word hanging heavy in the air between them. Back in the command center, Jennifer gathered her team. The weight of responsibility pressed down on her, but this shared prayer with Jett had brought a sense of calm, a renewed focus. Jennifer, we have a plan, she said, her voice clear and steady, her gaze sweeping over each member of the team, acknowledging their individual strengths, their shared commitment. It's risky, but it's our best shot. Outside, the fireworks reached their crescendo, a final burst of brilliance illuminating the night sky. The city, unaware of the silent battle being waged in its defense, oohed and awed in collective awe. Inside Johnson Tech, the real heroes of the night prepared for a different kind of fireworks. They were the city's silent guardians, the digital warriors, their weapons not guns and bombs, but lines of code, firewalls, and an unwavering belief in something larger than themselves. A sudden hush fell over the command center, the earlier hum of activity replaced by an eerie silence. Jennifer felt a prickle of unease, a sixth sense tingling with warning. Something was wrong. The heavy metal door swung open, slamming against the wall with a resounding clang. A figure, tall and imposing, filled the doorway, his silhouette framed against the backdrop of the city lights. Well, 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 a voice, smooth as silk, yet laced with a chilling undercurrent of malice, sliced through the tense silence. Look who's trying to play hero. Jennifer's blood ran cold. The hairs on the back of her neck stood on end. It was him, Anton Virelli, in the flesh, here, in their sanctuary. Virelli's presence seemed to suck the air out of the room. He stood there, a predator toying with his prey, his eyes glittering with a mixture of amusement and contempt. Jennifer felt a surge of anger, a fiery determination coursing through her veins. He wouldn't win. He wouldn't break them. They would fight. For their city, for their people, for everything they held dear. You've already lost, Virelli, she said, her voice surprisingly steady, the words laced with a quiet power that belied the turmoil raging within her. Virelli merely laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the command center. We'll see about that, he said, his voice dripping with malice. Let the games begin. And with that, he was gone, vanishing into the night as quickly as he had appeared. The digital calm was shattered. A barrage of malicious code, a digital tidal wave, crashed against their defenses. Screens flickered, alarms shrieked, the air thick with the tension of a battle joined.
He's targeting the power grid.
David's voice, usually calm and measured, was tight with urgency. His fingers flew across the keyboard, a blur of motion as he countered each attack, his brow furrowed in concentration.
He's trying to overload the system, create a cascade failure. We need to isolate the affected sectors, buy ourselves some time.
Jennifer watched, her heart pounding, as the digital battle raged before her. The city, unaware of the invisible war being waged in its defense, continued its celebration, the distant booms of fireworks a stark counterpoint to the silent struggle within the command center. Virelli's attack was relentless, a symphony of chaos orchestrated to sow panic and cripple the city. He targeted multiple systems simultaneously, testing their defenses, probing for weaknesses.
We're seeing a spike in traffic to financial institutions. He's attempting to breach their security protocols, disrupt transactions.
Jennifer's voice betrayed the strain she felt. Tom, any word from the authorities? We need to coordinate our efforts, contain the damage.
They're mobilizing, but it takes time. Virelli's attack has caught everyone off guard. We're on our own for now.
Jennifer drew a deep breath, the weight of the city, of countless lives pressing down on her. Fear, cold and clammy, threatened to overwhelm her, but she pushed it back, clinging to the anchor of her faith. She glanced at Jett, his face illuminated by the flickering glow of the monitors, his jaw set in a grim line. She saw the same determination in his eyes, the same unwavering belief that they could overcome this challenge. It wasn't just about firewalls and encryption algorithms anymore. It was about something more profound, something that transcended the digital realm. It was about protecting their city, their home, the people they loved. We can do this. We have to. For San Diego. The first light of dawn, a pale sliver of gold on the horizon, brought with it a sense of relief, a lifting of the oppressive weight that had settled over the command center. The digital storm, like a tempest that had raged through the night, finally began to subside. On the screens, the frantic blinking of warning lights gave way to a steady green glow, a visual symphony of systems restored, of order reclaimed from the brink of chaos. The city, still cloaked in the pre-dawn darkness, slumbered on, unaware of the battle that had raged for its digital soul. Jennifer leaned back in her chair, exhaustion pulling at her eyelids, but a smile tugged at the corners of her lips. They had done it. Against all odds, they had repelled Virelli's attack, protected their city, their home. She looked at her team, their faces etched with fatigue, but their eyes shining with the quiet satisfaction of a battle won. They had faced their fears, pushed their limits, and emerged victorious, their faith forged in the crucible of adversity.